Where the storm's at, Phil dropped the blueprint. Boom, now the bolts flash. Bradley with the wrist shot, Pooper with the pad smash. Tampa got the thunder, better run when the lights crash.
Hey, Ice Palace, yeah, we keep it all cold. 92 roots, now the whole squad gold. Lightning in the building, legends never fold. Blue boats strike hard, watch the story unfold.
Phil Esposito walking in like a boss, selling ice in the heat. They thought he lost, but he flipped that swamp, froze it like a chain, turned palm trees into hockey fame. Bradley snipe goals, crowd go boom. Sister Ellie get gritty in the locker room. I'm a lick first pick, young kid can't quit. Grattan throwing hip checks harder than the drum kit. Pooper on fire, pad stump like bass. Expo hard rocking every seat in the place. We came from tents, from sweat, from grind. 92 baby.
Yeah, we built this mine.
Yo, welcome to the Ice Palace where the big dogs skate. Phil built the kingdom, now we dominate. Bradley with the sauce, Pooper shut the gate. Boats on attack, too fast, too great.
Hey, hey, Ice Palace, yeah, we keep it all cold. 92 roots, now the whole squad gold. Lightning in the building, legends never fold. Blue boats strike hard, watch the story unfold. Now fast forward, yo, the future's in stride. Angel with the slapper like, move to the side.
Pooch in the slot with the no-look dish. Make a goalie lose sleep, make a defense wish. Braden point bullet, skating like a blur. Headman crash walls, thunder when you hear him stir. Vasilevsky masked up, beast in the dome. Kicks out pucks like he's throwing stones, cones home. Now the old school meets the champions here. Ghosts in the rafters, players we revere. Phil's voice echoes like a hype man shout.
Feel the storm never tap out.
Hey, Ice Palace rockin' better.
Welcome to We the Thunder. I'm Shooter. I'm here with Schoolie. And once again, the Tampa Bay Lightning season is over. Disappointing Game 7 home ice loss to the Montreal Canadiens 2-1 in a game where you did everything right and played your best game of the series. The Lightning lose and their season is over. Schoolie, final or first thoughts on Game 7?
You don't have point. You don't have Kucherov scoring these big games in these big games every single year. It's not going to get you through the first round, and we've seen that. Something's got to change in this offseason, and it's going to be interesting going into next year. Whatever we do during the regular season doesn't matter in the postseason. We saw that when we won the President's Trophy. Cooch, all the assists in the fucking world during the regular season, gets a couple assists in the playoffs. He needs to learn how to shoot net. Point. I'm betting. I think locker cleanout's going to be Tuesday, and that's probably when we'll get the report. Either tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll get the report of injuries. If there isn't something serious wrong with Point, they need to shop him around.
Strong words from Thomas Schoolie. We will break down the game here shortly. We will open up the phone lines. We'll take a look at the stats because I agree with you, but I disagree with you. And what I mean is if you look at the stats, we'll pull them up. I mean, the top guys were our top guys. But when it came down to when we had to get it done in Game 5, I'm going to go back to Game 5 and blame the performance in Game 5 on why we didn't win the series. But tonight we could have had him. Dominic James was our only guy to score. And to your point, Schoolie, look at the stat sheet. Brendan Gallagher, 1 goal this series. Braden Point, 1 goal this series. Nikita Kucherov, 1 goal this series. I mean, one of those things is not like the other.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you kind of look to your big dogs.
Dominic James, how many goals this series?
Dominic James had, 2 very clutch goals in this series, the big goal tonight, but he was the only guy that could find the back of the net for the Bolts, even though, again, they were the better team in this. So we'll open up the phone lines, but let's go through the game real quick. There wasn't a ton of action. You didn't see a ton of penalties. You can't really blame the refs.
You didn't even see many shots from Montreal. How do you have the least amount of shots in a Game 7 and still win 2-1? And I don't blame Vasi. for this one.
They're
I
the
can't.
fluky goals, right?
Right. I see people in Thunderbolts already blaming Vassy. There was one girl that posted it was Vassy's fault, and then she turned off the commenting. So I went back in and turned on the commenting because if you're, you better have the balls to back it up. Me and you, when we talk shit about someone, we at least have the balls to listen to you guys talk to us back. So I turned the commenting on for those that wanted to go comment to her. Um, this wasn't on Vassy.
Yeah,
Um,
there.
this was two fluky goals that one the first one went off of a lightning player, the second one also was deflected. It just shitty all the way around.
Let's see if I can get this on the screen share here so we can all look at it together. There we go. So final 2-1. We will open up phones lines. Let's just kind of gather our thoughts. Let's not open them up quite yet because everyone's probably pretty emotional after the Bolts lose 2-1 in Game 7 at home. We haven't seen too many Game 7 losses at home. It's actually only happened just one other time in the John Cooper era. But yeah, as you mentioned, the shots by Montreal, they end up with 9 official shots to our 29. We outplayed them most of the game. There's no lie in the stat there. Face-offs, we lose that battle again, but it wasn't atrocious. We did lose some key face-offs towards the end, definitely, but didn't really matter. Power plays, we gave them 2, didn't let them score. PK was great again, but wasn't enough. Power play, 1 for 3. We got the power play goal. Oddly enough, the second line scored the power play goal. We'll get to that. And then hits 43-30. This has been the theme of the series. They really started to out-hit us throughout this series, kind of even at the beginning, but at the end, they really kind of rocked us as far as hits goes, but hits doesn't win games. Block shots, 13 for them, 15 for us. It felt like both teams blocked more. And then giveaways, takeaways, all pretty even, but, you know, the Lightning, like we said, really looked like the better team this game.
And Dobesh stood on his head. You gotta give him credit.
Oh, yeah.
The Lightning had some good shots, and I thought the whole series, Dobesh looked amazing. Like he looked like a young Vassy on some of those saves.
Yeah, and this was certainly his best game. All right, so to kick it off, Sonia let us know she was going to let the fans sing. I don't know if she did that on purpose to maybe try to get the crowd into it. I'll give the crowd credit. I heard "Let's Go Bolts, Let's Go Lightning" all game long, so the library was awake. Cooper, this is a chance to win his 6th Game 7 with one team, which would have been an NHL record that he would have alone. Right now, he has that record tied with several other coaches. 4-1 at home in Game 7s, now 4-2. Doesn't get that 6th win. The only lineup change for both teams was Noah Dobson back in for Montreal, and that should have been a huge advantage for them in this game. I don't think it really factored in that much.
No.
Corey Perry, they showed this stat. As far as Game 7 points, he has more Game 7 points in his career than the entire Canadiens roster. But the experience and the veteran savviness of Corey Perry and the Lightning did not matter to them. First period, right away from the get-go, their first shift, our 4th line was the best line for us tonight. Talking about Dominic James, Gage Gonzalez, and Bjorkstrand. Leave it to chance. Leave it to a Game 7 for Bjorkstrand to get probably more scoring chances than anyone else. And what does Bjorkstrand do?
Not a damn thing.
What he's done all season long. And maybe you go back and break down this season and you say, man, what does this team look like, especially here in the playoffs, especially in this Game 7, if you're spending that Bjorkstrand money on somebody that can put the puck in the back of the net. Got a lot of chances today. That whole line did great. I would have played them way more, but they could not score. It was Gonzalez, actually, that had that nifty move in the first period. Tried to put it 5-hole, and again, a great job by the goaltender there. The Lightning just could not beat him today, except for that one power play goal. And of course, Montreal scores their only goal, or their first goal of the game. Once we saw that they scored their first goal of the game, we knew that we have a 25% chance now of winning this game. 75% is the team that scores the first goal in the playoffs. So, or at least in game sevens. So we had a huge amount of pressure on us going into the second period, because that Suzuki goal was at the end of the first, and it was not even off Suzuki's stick. It was a save that was deflected off of Mosier's skate and back into the back of the net. I got a lot of crap when we posted about Montreal getting a ton of puck luck this series. Look at their 2 goals tonight. Unbelievable.
And they continued.
Crazy. So the period ends 9-4 shots. The Lightning backs are really against the wall, down 1-0 going into the second period. So what do? They play the whole second period and don't even let Montreal score a goal. You'd think we'd come out of the second period with the lead.
You mean a shot on goal?
With a shot or goals.
You said score a goal, yeah. Can't score a goal if you don't even get a shot on goal.
No shots on goal the entire period. The first time that has ever happened in a game 7, and that team still won the game. That's the kind of night it was for the Bolts. So Lightning get their power play chances here, and I don't know. I mean, the power play looked good. Obviously, they scored a goal on the power play, but first power play did not score. Second power play did score. This was when goalies held Gensel, and then because the first line power play guys were already on the ice, they needed rest. And that's when the second line started. And, we've been waiting for it for 7 games. Somebody to crowd the net, somebody to get a deflection, a stick on a puck going to the net. And, of course, it's the new guys, Stu and James, the 2 unsung heroes of the season, guys we never even heard of before game 1 of the regular season. And those guys come in huge with a game-tying goal. And you really felt like the Lightning have all the momentum in this period, and they still cannot take the lead by the end of the second period. So I'm getting nervous, because the longer we let Montreal stay in the game, it takes one shot or one lucky bounce for them to take the lead. And guess what happened in the third period? One lucky shot goes in for Montreal. It was Newhook on a shot that Vasi saves, that bounces back off the backboard, and then Newhook just bats it and puts it towards the net, and it bounces off Vasi's pad and in. Both Montreal's goals went off Lightning players before they went off into the net. So Lightning still have 10-something minutes to come back. I think it's less than 10 minutes, but they have time to come back, and really didn't get any great scoring chances. Even after they pulled the goalie, they end up getting a power play with 6 seconds left. It was too late. Too little, too late. The Lightning had a lot of chances to win that extra game in this series, and they just couldn't do it. So credit to the Montreal Canadiens. They will go on to play the Buffalo Sabres in the second round. As much as I still think we are the better team, sometimes the better team doesn't win.
But both of us, game 1 was going to be Wednesday, and both of us, I think, were out of town. So it saved us. I mean, the Lightning did this for us.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. So
real quick, the free agents for this year is going to be Bjorkstrand. No, stay or gone. I say gone.
Bjorkstrand ain't coming back.
Corey Perry. I say gone.
Corey Perry would come back, I think, if nobody else is biting on him.
Mitchell Chafee.
Nope.
Gone.
He'll get another chance somewhere.
Scott Sabaron. I say stays.
He'd come back, yeah.
And then Darren Radish.
Darren Radish is probably somebody we're going to lose. I don't know if we're going to have the cap space. And we're in that weird situation where we've got to, hold on, caller, where we've got to extend Kucherov if we're going to extend him. Like, now's the summer when we got to do it. So let's
Well, the Lightning only one time have ever done it the year before, and that was Hedman when they got rid of Stamkos.
well, we'll see what happens. We
I
got a
just want to
caller.
give my opinion real quick.
Hey,
Okay.
who's calling and where are you calling from?
Sam guy from Tarpon Springs, Florida. I just want to voice my opinion again.
Yeah.
The Montreal Canadiens entered the postseason ranked 10th on the power play. They were ranked 18th on the PK. That's why it looked so close. The Lightning were ranked 17th on the power play, but by the end of April, they were practically 28th on the power play. On the PK, they were top 5. That is why it looked completely even and balanced out. Watching the Lightning go 0-3 in Game 5 and an important win is an absolute insult. And then continuously playing the same style, knowing that in Game 4 the PP works when they put Point and Hagel on the same line. Are you serious? This was a complete blowout. Even if they did score power play in this game, it doesn't change the fact that it's time for new management. This is an absolutely insane game. Last year, they were 2-18 against the Florida Panthers. Jeff Halpern is a power play merchant for Stamkos. Losing Stamkos, and everything falls apart.
Question real quick. Question. You're not at no bridge or anything, right? Because you sound like you're about to jump or you're about to punch your children or your dog or something.
Destroy the entire universe. The very fact that we were 0-6 for Game 5, and plus this game, and I believe two games in the series, we were 6-5. Jeff Halpern runs the face-off coaching, he runs the 6-5, and he runs the power plays. We made a crap team look like gods in comparison on the PK. We made Montreal look like the unstoppable defensive mega god unit on the ice. And we all know that Buffalo was going to destroy Montreal in like 6 games. This was absolutely insane. I'm sorry for blowing the chat up, but it's time for a change. After losing Stamkos and failing to change and look at the other players and analyze and move stuff around and continuously put Kucherov on the same side, in which, every single team in the Atlantic and every single team in the NHL pretty much knows where it's going to go. And they got out-coached. This isn't some bottom of the barrel. They're going up against Martin St. Louis. We are going back to Tampa Bay, Game 6. They're going up against an offensive guru. And Robert Zettler, amazing penalty killing coach. This guy makes Jack Blashill look. There's no comparison. Robert Zettler, I'd say the 4 coaches get to keep their job, but Halpern's got to go. That's all I got to say. I'm flipping my tanks over here. I'm shaking. That's it, man. This is.
We hear you, man. We hear you. It's definitely disappointing. You're not alone. There's going to be a lot of people in the chat with you there on Halpern. There has been all series about Halpern, and you're not wrong.
I wrote an entire script. No, the script real fast. I wrote an entire script. I did the math for the past 2 years. The entire script reads as this. It's a long one. Because I fed it to ChatGPT and I fed it to Google also, right? And the logical conclusion for both AIs is there's a 95% probability that Jeff Halpern gets fired at the end of the season within 2 weeks. The script reads as, hold on, I gotta find it, but it's here. It says, coach, because he's going to reject that. There's no way he's going to be hired to be a future coach. I made many core AI fragments about this one, above all. The script reads as going 1-33 into the postseason, being 4-37 on the power play if you factor in the first 2 games, going 17th to ranked 27 on the power play. That's it. And then you factor in Brad Lauer from 2018. And Brad Lauer, we might have had a crappy 2016 power play, but in 2018, when they were up against the Boston Bruins and all those guys, they were absolutely stellar. They only got shut out by the eventual Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals. The Capitals completely shut down Brad Lauer's power play unit. And despite them being ranked third, the Lightning were ranked third in the power play in the postseason that year.
Okay. We get your point. Thank you for calling. We got your point. Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, you got some great points. Listen, tough way to end the season. We feel you, but hey, we'll be back next season and we'll be speculating about what's going to happen in the offseason. But thank you Call back later this season, or wait, next season, I guess. We'll be back during the off season a couple times. But yeah, that opens up the phone line. Listen, this might just have to be a therapy session. I think for that guy, it definitely is. And I'm curious and we're way behind on the chats, but we'll get to the chats as far as what you guys think went wrong. We got Steve here calling in from the Bull Sharks hockey team. Steve, the Lightning are out of the playoffs.
We witnessed it at the end of our own game, so I got to catch a lot of the first, not really much the second on the bench, and then unfortunately most of the third period.
What do you think happened, and where do we go from here? Another first round exit.
Well, Lightning fans, as a captain myself, it's one of those games. I think Shooter and
captain myself.
As a captain myself, for now.
We compare you to Hedman and Stamkos all the time. Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, I'm Steven, but no Stamkos, unfortunately. But no, it's one of those games where you outplay your opponent, you pepper them as much as you can, and it just seems like nothing goes your way. And I think Shooter said it best: when you keep a team in the game long enough and you give them that one chance, they capitalize, and then it goes in the back of your net. And credit to Dobesh, who stellar goalie. I mean, young kid, he's gonna go far against a loaded Buffalo team. So I mean, I think Thomas hit some nails on the head when he was like, hey, I think now is the time you may shop around point. I agree, Bjorkstrand, you make 5.5, probably looking to shop that guy. Corey Perry probably not returning, and maybe just bolster up the bottom six now. I mean, it's tough when you got top line guys, but obviously in the playoffs, they're going to watch footage on Hagel, Kucherov, on what these guys do to win them games and to steal them games. So you shut them down, and then, the third and fourth line for the Canadians and us were the ones that had some bright lights. Dominic James eventually probably going to be not a Braden Point replacement, but that kid's got bright future, fast, looking maybe like a second line, first line center. Gonsalves, maybe with a little bit of work, will probably get up there to his second, first line, hopefully. So
yeah,
there's some positives. Of course, the negative is the 7-game series, which is probably the best series so far in all the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe that's the biggest crime of all of it is, this format. Dallas Stars fans are probably feeling the same way, even though they didn't make it to Game 7. But like that series and this series, it's crazy that these teams are playing each other in the first round. But hey, man, we'll let you go. Did the Bull Sharks win?
No, Rob. We unfortunately did not pull out our own win because we missed our number one goal scorer, Shooter.
The sad night in Tampa Bay, folks. All right, well, I'll be there next week, and thanks for calling in. Go Bolts.
Thanks, guys.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
I would imagine probably more comes down on Hedman on Tuesday, Wednesday. If it's psychological, does he get a pass? If it's anything else, does he get a pass?
I mean, he's going to get a pass. Who's going to hold him accountable for missing the last 2 months of the season? I mean, they had their. Well, I mean, think about it. Who scored the first goal for them? Maybe the most important goal of the game.
It wasn't.
Their captain did.
Oh yeah.
Where's ours been? I don't know. I mean, we can't blame them. I don't know what's going on with them. We'll find out. Here, we got a good caller though. It's Matt. It's Orozco. What's going on, man? Bolts lose, season over. How you feeling?
I'm feeling disappointed. I really thought this team was better than the sum of the parts, especially this year compared to the last couple of years, just given the circumstances and the competition they were playing. I mean, I'm going to start off and where is Nick Paul? Nick Paul has been completely gone the entire season. And I get that he came off an injury back in October, November, but there is no reason that the Nick Paul of March and April is the exact same Nick Paul of October, November coming off that injury. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not 100%, convinced of whatever this heck Victor Hedman crap's going on. This isn't a similar situation in Montreal. Tavares isn't getting the C strip because of, Tavares crap. Like, Hetty, not here. Like, I get that something's going on with him. But I'm telling you right now, Hetty's in a shell of himself this season. And I get that he was injured too. But that team needs to come off his chest. And then they really need to take a look at the room and figure out what kind of team they actually truly have moving forward. I kind of agree with Scully shopping Point around, but unless you're going to get a king's ransom from him, there's no reason to not have him back next season.
Well, you're not. No.
But wait,
You didn't even score any goals this season.
you don't need to get a king's ransom back for him. You're gonna get salary cap dump off of it, where then you can possibly get somebody else. Not necessarily a return, just the relief in the salary cap to then go after somebody else.
I mean, I get what you're saying for just the salary cap reasons, but if that's the case, then you should just unload Nick Paul and give a bag of pucks in return.
Yeah, Nick Paul's. I mean, I agree with you. Nick Paul's. We needed him more this season, but he's not making much money. Like, he's a bottom six guys, and sometimes you just need these guys.
I mean, he's making almost $4 million. I mean, he's almost making $4 million a season.
But you're right. We got to get these guys to show up. By the way, the Stars tonight were ±-1s in the game tonight. And if
Nick Paul's 3.1 million, by the way, 3.1 for
Nick Paul. Yeah. I thought my bad. I thought he was like closer to like 3.8 or 3.9. Sorry, my bad.
Braden Point.
No, Oliver Bjorkstrand 5.4 million, Point 9.5 million.
Well, I'm glad Bjorkstrand's gone because honestly, he is the Matt Carl of forwards out there on this Lightning team. Like, a traffic cone most games during the regular season was better than Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Point does have a no movement clause for next season, but then 2027, 2028, it is a modified no trade, 10-team no trade list.
Yeah,
so that's really hard to unload him then.
It's a tough pill to swallow, losing to the Canadians, where I think most of us think we're a better team than the Canadians, and especially knowing that we didn't play our best hockey. And man, Game 7 at home. And here's another stat that's just not fun. We had home ice advantage. Lost 3 of 4 games at home. When does
the Bolts have been awful this season at home. No offense. I mean, compared to past seasons, the Bolts have been pretty bad at home this year.
It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs where it's like that's where you play all season for that home ice advantage. And for the Lightning, it's not a home ice advantage. Who cares if they get home ice? They're worse on home ice.
Well, if I do recall, Scully even said earlier on that he wanted to start on the road, and I was kind of in agreement with him.
Maybe we win the series. That's how close this series was. Maybe we win the series if we end up being the away team and they get home ice. But hey, man, we'll see what happens this offseason. It should be really interesting with everything that's happened this season. I think I'm gonna start to remind people through the rest of this episode that it was a pretty fun season of Lightning hockey. We got to have that outdoor game. I saw you there. We had a record-breaking January and February, which makes, losing the first round again a hard pill to swallow. We had an Olympic break that at the end of the day kind of fucked us. But we get to see win gold with one of our players. We've never seen, that happen before. A U.S. player on the Lightning win gold. We've never seen U.S. win gold, most of us in our lifetime. So it's not all bad. I didn't think it was a horrible season. They gave us a pretty good show this season. But hey, man, we'll be back.
I don't think it's necessary.
We'll be back strong next season.
RFAs does not look good this offseason if you look at the restricted or unrestricted free agents. UFAs out there. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I'm expecting some trades if anything happens because our roster, like Scully was saying, he went through everyone. They're all kind of locked in. It's Radish. That's the mystery here. So, but we'll have another episode after the playoffs ends, and we're gonna go through, what we think is gonna happen this offseason, and by then we'll have some clarity on this team and who's injured, who's not. Remember last season we were out where the rumor was John Cooper's going to fly to what was it, Utah, and coach Utah, and they had to put that one out. So I don't know. I saw a rumor that Toronto's trying to get JBB, which
they did. They declined it, but now they announced their new GM today, which was the old Arizona Coyotes GM.
So
that is correct. Yep.
Well, hey man, thanks for watching all season long. And
yep.
By the way, something we haven't mentioned today that I actually think was a bigger miss than had been on the ice was Holmberg. I think missing Holmberg in this playoff series was actually a bigger hurt for the Lightning than Hetty was. And I think it showed with that line what they didn't do during the playoffs that they had done during the regular season.
Well, and again, you just talk about the bad luck that somehow got put on this team of how'd he get hurt? He's falling, going into the boards, and they're opening the door as he crashes into the board. So we'll find out. I think it's clavicle right here. Probably crack that. You can get back within a month or two usually from that injury. So they're hoping he'd be back if we could make a run. And imagine we make it to the next round and he comes back towards the end of the next round. That's a huge boost for this team. But again, just bad luck had doomed this team towards the end of this season. All right, Jesse, what happened,
Oh my God.
man?
that was the most frustrating thing I think I've ever watched in my life.
Did you feel like we were going to come back and win? Or did you feel like
I honestly thought I was telling myself and everybody else today, I was like, look, we've had a pretty bad record at home. We got the stupid white towels. We're gonna close it out today and win big. And I mean, it just the puck luck was absolutely crazy. I mean, it wasn't 9 shots on goal. What are we? I don't know, man. That's just craziest thing ever. The team I felt like played pretty good for the most part. We put the puck on net, and then just too many passes again. I don't know. We just don't have the puck luck still.
no? When we were winning
Good on them.
cups and going to the Stanley Cup Finals, things were just going our way. We were getting those goals, and just couldn't buy a goal these last couple of games. And I'll still point back to that Game 5. You win that Game 5, and you got a chance up there to close it out, and you have a chance here to close it out. You win the series. In Game 5, we looked like we were playing Game 1 of the preseason, which is just unacceptable. Players, coaches, everyone. And that's what you get. You play Game 7, you play your best game of the series, you hold them to 0 shots, an NHL record in the second period. But it doesn't matter how many shots people take. It matters how many go in. And they had 2 go in.
Yeah. Still looking for that perfect shot. Still not connecting on the power play. You give them 0 shots on goal in the second period. I mean, you think, regular season game, that would be like a 4-1 game going into the third, But I know the playoffs are a different animal, and it's not our time, I guess. But I don't know what's going to happen with the future, but I'm hoping that this kind of changes things, kind of like how things went for us when we played the Jackets in 2019. We can't just keep losing the first round every year. I mean, this is like the 4th year in a row now.
No, I mean, we're letting our time pass away. Cooch is kind of in that prime, getting to the other side of that prime. Braden Point should be in his prime. These guys are built to win now. Montreal wasn't even supposed to be here, right? They're not even supposed to be in the second round. And that was, if you listen to Marty's comments, that was the violin he was playing for everyone. We're playing with house money. We're not even supposed to be here. We're lucky if we're lucky if we win, but he was egging on that, hey, we're not even supposed to be here. We're a young team. And that's why I was talking to somebody about who the pressure's on. And I said all the pressure's on us. I didn't, Johnny B at the last game, I didn't want to burst his bubble because he was saying the pressure's on them. But no, when you have the record that we have at home in the playoffs and can't get out of the first round, the pressure was on us.
Yeah,
crazy
big time.
part is we came up and played a great game, but we didn't win it. So, well, hey man, we'll see what happens next season. Stick around. We'll be back in the postseason to talk about some of the moves that they will.
Jesse, real quick, who is your
Yes.
most who were you most disappointed with in the playoffs for the Lightning, and who were you happy with in the playoff?
I would say it's kind of between like disappointment was definitely Bjorkstrand and just his lack of just everything. I was impressed with obviously Dominic James and Brandon Hagel. I think both those guys were like the main guys that kept this team going. And another one that I wasn't really thrilled with was obviously our star player Kucherov. I mean, there has to be something wrong with him. Too many passes in the center, just throwing to whoever and just not scoring. You know, you're the
I
number one
just think
guy.
that's Cooch. I don't think there's something wrong with him. I think that's Cooch. We've seen that from Cooch the last 3 seasons in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Well, here's
It's always disappearing act.
Here's the stat line. I mean, I think in the past you guys were right the past 3 years, but I don't think it was the case this year. Sure, you wanted to score more goals, but he was a game player. 6 games, 6 points, just 1 goal, 5 assists. He was a +3. He had 28 shots on net, more than anyone else. Unfortunately, only one of them went in. So I don't know.
How many turnovers did he have?
I can't blame Cooch for not
But
showing.
and how many of those shots were the side? That's what he was trying to get that goal like he got where it goes off the back of the goalie. And he kept doing that all series long where he was doing that side shot hoping that it hits the back of the goalie and into the net. And because he got puck luck on it a couple times this season, that was his shot this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you can blame whoever you want on that top line, but I don't know. Compared to the last 3 years, Cooch played better than he did in the playoffs this season. So, but hey,
Do you
man,
have his giveaways? Do you have his giveaways on there or no?
no, they don't have that on the NHL.com. All right, man. Well, I'd ask you your prediction for next game, but there is none. we will stay thirsty as we have not had a toast on this show since 2022. But hey, here's the bright side. So many teams have not even had a chance to clinch a playoff game out there.
Yeah, and at least we don't live.
We're spoiled. We really are.
We also don't live in Canada.
I think it's fair to us to have the high expectations that we have. I expect this team to not get knocked out in the first round, and I think so does leadership and management. So things will change. I really do think we will see a major trade in the offseason. But hey, man, we'll let you go. See if anyone else wants to call. Stay tuned this offseason. Remember, we'll probably just do one a month during the offseason, and we'll be back next year. Thanks, man.
Yeah, go Bolts.
Go Bolts. A sad day as the Bolts get bounced again in the first round, down or losing Game 7 at home, losing 3 of the 4 home games when you have home ice at home.
Would have been so much cheaper if they did it in 6. And by the way, the Crunch also were eliminated today in triple overtime.
And the Orlando Magic was eliminated from the NBA playoffs.
So here comes the comments coming out of the locker room. Hagel's comment was, hold on to that phone call for a minute. Brandon Hagel being eliminated in the first round for the 4th year in a row. It sucks. You don't get any younger. That's for sure. Listen, I got 1 goal in my mind and 1 goal in my mind every single year, and I could care less if I don't know. I just want to win. So it sounds like a pissed off Brandon Hagel. And like we had said before, someone that should have AC in their name. Greg Wolf, by the way, of course he has to be positive. Always Mr. Positivity. Greg Wolf, Bolts Nation, thank you. 12 playoff appearances over the last 13 years. Without you, we could never have built an era like this. Unprecedented in the salary cap era. Your Thunder has been there every step of the way for every single memorable moment. We played the most hockey, the most playoff games, owned the longest sellout streak in the NHL, and we're not done yet. So while this one may not have gone our way, know this, fans, no one will ever take away our thunder. We will see you again in October when the chase for another championship begins. Until then, we thank you so much for the amazing support year in and year out, and for being the best fans in the NHL.
Greg,
Thank you, Greg.
should go into politics. As, no, Greg does a great job, and it's tough probably for him and everyone involved. Like especially even Bolt for Life members, man. We go to so many games throughout the season and dedicate so much time, and man, another performance like this in the playoffs just feels like a gut punch. So, got another caller. Who is calling? Where are you calling from?
Craig, calling from Vegas.
Greg, oh, that's right. You
Oh,
called.
he's back.
Okay. Well, hey, man, season's over. What happened?
Yeah, it's I was thinking about like, hey, we didn't get any puck luck. But you know what? We gave away game 1. We were flat in game 5. So you know what? The hockey god said, you know what? You gave away 2 games. You don't get you don't get the puck luck tonight. You're gonna have to finish it on your own. And that's what happened. I mean, you can, and it's funny. Like, I had 3 games yesterday in Utah playing hockey, and basic things like, hey, we got 4 guys behind the net chasing the puck. And Chief was talking about in the intermission. Why if they win the battle, even when it's even up 2-on-2, the guy's not going to score from back there, right in the corner. You got to watch the guys that are coming out. And that's how they got the first goal. Everybody chased to the corner. You had 4 guys below the line. And listen, I know it hit off of JJ, but that ball doesn't go back to him. If everybody's just playing, hey, put 2 or 3 men out there and everybody else has an eye on everybody else. It just basic things they don't do. I'm a little worried about the blue line going forward. And the reason is we have a lot of the same type of guys. If Radish comes back, great. But I'm also thinking I don't think we have a true quarterback back there that can help a power play.
How about
other than Radish being set up with a one-timer, which
How about getting to Stu some more ice time next season? I mean, look what he did.
I do. I love the wrist. I love the wrist shot. He can move the puck too. I think that too. But if we lost Radish, is Carlson worth a 1-year deal for next year? I think is he done in Pittsburgh?
I don't know Carlson's status.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I just think
we're not going to get him. That train has sailed. His stock has went way down. Yeah. He's not as good as he used to be. By the way, interesting that as soon as the game ended, Vasi was the first person to go in line in the handshake line. Didn't even stay at his goal crease or anything. He went straight to center ice.
Yeah. I mean, he had a great last 2 games, but early in the series, I thought, game 5 again. I mean, I know the team didn't play around him, but he game 5, he just can't allow what he did too. Maybe we call the Leafs back and say, hey, we changed our mind on JBB. If you guys haven't inked any contract yet, maybe we can say, hey, listen, maybe there's a chance to do a Zoom with him tonight. I don't know. But I do agree changes have to come, and I think some of it has to come from the coaching staff, not Cooper. But you can't have JBB put this roster together. I think you're going to have a different voice or someone else doing it. Maybe they kick him upstairs to another role and they elevate someone else or bring someone in from the outside. But I just think changes have to come. Bjorkstrand, good riddance. It didn't work out. I don't know what other moves you can make. You do have the Kucherov thing. You can extend him. That's a big decision right now too, and another playoff dud as well from him. But that has to be something that's thought about too. But I don't know where the roster goes because you do have a lot that's younger, where I think James improved, Gonzalez improved, but you do have some guys like Point. It's just that if he won't move that contract, I mean, that's just if you don't get more out of him, the face-offs again late in the game. Couldn't win the draw at the end too. The same things happened throughout the whole series. It just wasn't any good. And as much as the puck luck didn't happen, like you said, if that was Tuesday night, January the 10th, we'll probably have 4-1 going to the third. But it's the playoffs. You know, those teams hang around long enough, like you guys said, it's just not good for you because you just felt like one deflection wasn't going to go our way, and that was it. I do think if we took the lead, we would have been fine. But also, too, is like, what was the stat? We haven't had a lead after the first period in how long? Since the Olympic break?
Yeah, I think that was Evan Klosky that put out that stat of, we just come from behind every game since the Olympics. And
yeah,
I tweeted out there earlier this week, I mean, I think something happened. The Olympics broke this team. Doesn't really make much sense how it happened because we had just as many guys as everyone else, but we also had guys injured. We had guys not playing, which people want to say that's an advantage. I think that's not an advantage. When you have Bassi who can't play at the same speed, even if he's out there just practicing, same thing with Cooch, it's a disadvantage for these guys to come back. And something happened when they came back where they weren't the same team. And that'll be the most disappointing thing about this season is
I just saw a stat. I think I've lost it here, but I think it said between Team Canada and Montreal in Game 7, Coop's teams were outshot 74-10 and lost both, or 74-32 and lost both games.
Regarding the Hedman situation, I know more light will come this week, but didn't he leave? Like, wasn't he sick or something? And he took a commercial flight home from Vancouver. Like, it wasn't even like on the charter. Like,
They didn't say now.
Yeah.
Mike Calta from 102.5 The Bone the other day said it was for mental health reasons, for the injury, his dog Harry passing away, and then the nagging injury, and then the Olympics debacle and stuff like that. So it could be a mental issue. Calta was correct when he talked about Stamkos leaving the bubble a couple of years ago. So I would lean more towards that's what this was, especially, I guess I can say it now, those games afterwards, I seen his wife and his family and his kids in the stands at the games, at all the home games. So they were all here. So I knew it couldn't have been anything family related because they were all here at the games. He just wasn't here.
Yeah. Listen, I just think the best situation for him would be, I know LTIR would be great for him to protect his money, and it frees up cap. If we get all the cap money back, and put his jersey up, no one will ever wear 77 again. He can maybe do some TV with scripts, something where he's still around the team. But that to me, and I'm not sure. I can't, I don't judge him. I don't walk a mile in the shoes. But for the sake of the team, he was out. He never skated with the team in any kind of drills in the last month. He was just always out on his own doing some stuff. I don't understand why he couldn't even do drills with the team. Is it against the CBA? They decided they didn't want him around the team doing drills. I thought he was never at the end. Yeah.
So he was practicing. He just wasn't doing drills. Coop, real quick. Coop's comments
on the team, right?
What was that?
He was all series.
Yeah. He followed them. He even followed them on the plane and was skating. He would skate beforehand and skate afterwards, and he would skate a little bit with them but he would not do the drills because he wasn't planning on being on the lines. He's not going to do the drills if they're not on the lines. So Cooper's thought on this year's team: I have zero complaints about any team I've ever coached for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but this team was different. It was different. They deserve better than what has happened to them, and it's too bad because how hard they worked and committed and just did everything we asked. They just went out wearing their heart on their sleeves and gave everything they possibly could, and we just came up short. But it says a lot about the team and a lot of the players who are here. Go Bolts.
Very,
Yeah,
coach-like.
it'll be interesting what happens the next few days with him, because I do think that's the one thing when you're getting 5.5 back from Bjorkstrand. If you can move a couple other pieces, and if the UFA market doesn't look good, obviously you've got to make some trades.
The problem is we have so
Yeah.
many no move clauses. JBB gave them out like they were water in hell. So it's
It doesn't matter, man. You see him waived all the time. If a
but then
team-
you see players like that. What happened in St. Louis? What happened with Stamkos, who was refusing to waive theirs?
yeah, but that was big news because it never happens. Like if a team comes to a player and says, "Hey, we're going to look at moving you. Can you give us a list?" They usually give them a list. It's like, are you going to stay with your girlfriend that doesn't love you anymore? No. Like
Well, you stay with your wife.
you're going to feel jolted by that and be like, screw them. I'll get traded and come back here and beat them. So I don't think the no movement clause really matters at all, because those guys will waive it if they.
Well, if Stammer wants to get back with his ex, we'll take him back.
Yeah, I don't know if we can afford to, but we do. I'll tell you, I feel like we're missing a sniper for that Bjorkstrand spot. Which,
Same amount of money that Bjorkstrand's doing.
well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
Well, thanks for all the hard,
long
thanks for all your work, guys. Yeah, you guys do a great job. I really appreciate it, and we'll be ready to be the Thunder in the fall.
We're going to have a long summer next summer, so be ready. Rest up this summer.
All right.
All right, thanks, man. Go Bulls.
right.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. Getting through the chats here. By the way, nobody is blocked in the chat, so we're not highlighting Canadian fans' chats. The show's for the Lightning. So Linda Barris is out there. Yeah, I feel like the fans were loud. I mean, ESPN didn't mention a single time that they were quiet, but I guess we also had different commentators tonight, weren't they? It wasn't ESPN. It was TNT, wasn't it?
Yes. June 26th, by the way, is the draft. So June will be the draft.
We think we're going to get with our first round pick. Yanni Gord. Yeah, Yanni Gord seemed so good. I wonder if he got hurt too, because man, like we kept bringing up his name in games 1 through 4, and then I felt like we didn't see him. I guess besides the penalty kill, which he was out there for.
And then, of course, July 1st is the day free agency starts. So,
Yep. And again, there's not too much out there from free agency. So I think you try to find a way to keep Radish. I think you trade one of our centers. I think you got to make a move to shake things up.
yeah, you got to do something. Yeah, I don't think you get rid of Sorelli. I don't think you get rid of Hagel. You leave them two alone. And Sorelli was always the one on the block years ago, but I think he stays now.
But he didn't do much in the playoffs either.
He did quite a bit.
No goals, 2 assists.
No.
But here's the key stat.
Face-offs.
Plus 6.
Yeah.
Face-offs, he was 50-50.
Yeah.
We needed Sorelli to score some goals at the end of the day.
Yep.
Tonight would have been nice. But nobody could. If anyone wants to call in, I'll throw the number up there again.
No more calls. Let's just tired of beating a dead horse.
What, you don't want to hear about how we should or Jeff Alford? Well, here's a good question. Now that we're out of it, who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Listen, I don't say by the phone.
One more call. Who's calling? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, you know I'm right.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
You were right all season. You were right all
It's cool.
season.
It's cool. I'm calming down. No, I wasn't. No, listen. I've been positive with this team all season, especially that from December to the Olympic break, we look like the best. Do you remember that?
I do.
We looked like the best, especially when we played that game against Colorado and buried them in our arena. We look like a Stanley Cup team. And like you said, Shooter, the break happened, and we've looked the same since. I don't know what to explain on that, man.
Yeah, what happened?
I really don't. I mean, and that's the thing. It's just we look like the best before that, and
We were the best.
I don't know, and it doesn't. I will say this: it didn't help not having Holberg in there, because he had that Hounds line with him and Jurgensen and Gordon. That was John Cooper's favorite weapon right there. And
Yeah, that was the Coleman. When we look at our Stanley Cup years, that would have been just like that Coleman, Gord, and Gaudreau line.
Precisely. And when he went through that damn door, the balls were cut off, man. I mean, unless, Jurgensen was disappointing in the series. He was great all season. He was great in the last series against Florida. But as soon as this series started, it went away. I don't know if he's injured or anything. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, he was quiet. I did feel like finally between game 6 and 7 that we got the bottom 6 right with how they had, what was it? Jurgensen with Gord and Nick Paul. I mean, somebody's got to score a goal on that line. But
I got to say this. I think Nick Paul's gone next year. I think they're going to shop him.
Maybe
he's had to stay. He's had to stay, and God bless him for what he did. But I don't know what's going to happen with the team, and I don't know what they're going to look like, and I don't even know if I want to trust what they look like. This is the 4th time in a row, man. This is the fourth first round in a row, and I hope this is pressed against Cooper's forehead, and everybody else is noticing this. This is the 4th time in a row. When the fuck is this shit gonna stop? Because right now we are the fucking Leafs of the last. I put it in the chat. We are the Toronto Maple Leafs of the last 6 years right now. That's what this team is right now. And I don't know what to do to fix it. The goaltending's fine. Defense showed up, but I mean, do you really think we could win a Stanley Cup with Radish and Moser as our top pairing?
No. I've thought about that all season. Is this team good enough to win the Stanley Cup? And at the beginning of the season, it was like no, they're definitely not. And they got better throughout the season. And at one point, when you talked about January and February, I was like, oh,
they look like the best.
We might have one. We might have a Stanley Cup team on our hands. And then once they got back from that break, it was just like, what happened? Like I went back to,
and it never changed.
And I'm with you.
It never changed.
I think even if we make it to the next round, based on what we saw, unless they could all of a sudden snap back to January bolts,
and that's what I was hoping.
We wouldn't beat.
And it never happened.
We wouldn't have beat. I don't think. I mean, maybe Buffalo because they don't have a goalie.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing I was going to say too. Is like let's say if we did it today. You think how we're playing right now is going to beat Buffalo? That's a straightforward scoring team right there.
Much faster.
They put
about speed, team speed. Yeah, we're a step behind these young teams.
I think Montreal actually is going to take them out.
I don't know now. I mean, Montreal. I'll tell you this. I don't think Montreal was as good as I thought they would be. Because most of those damn games in that series, we beat ourselves, man.
I agree with that.
I mean, no disrespect.
Better than us today.
No disrespect them, because right now I think Buffalo's going to beat them. I hate to say, I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting for Montreal, but
I think it's
I
going
don't
to be
know if
Montreal and Colorado. Colorado or Minnesota, and I think it'll be Montreal.
I think it's going to be. I think it'll be Colorado and Carolina. I think Carolina's got this shit straight now. Finally,
The way that
we'll see. I
they're
don't know.
playing, I mean, they haven't lost a game yet in the playoffs. So,
No.
but they're also playing the Senators, and now they're playing Philly. And I know Philly's on fire right now, but they've
Philly's young though.
they got a pretty easy path. If it's not
Montreal,
Colorado, I think it's the Canes' year this year.
that thing. I mean, like Montreal's young too, but we couldn't do nothing against them. I mean, that's like a young team over there against our veteran teams who's been there before. I mean, that's not the fucking Florida Panthers, man. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but
That's it's so embarrassing about that.
We beat ourselves, and the story before we started this series was we have the veteran experience that's going to be the difference in the series, but we end up beating ourselves in most of these games. So
funny thing, Colorado's goalie, the Lightning had him in their system in 2019.
Wedgwood.
Scott
I don't think
Wedgwood.
he's that. I don't think he's that much, but the rest of the Colorado team is just is very, very impressive. And
right now, he's second. He's second in voting for the Conn Smythe. If the playoffs were to end today, the only one that beats him in the voting for Conn Smythe right now is Anderson for Carolina.
You put that Wedgwood on another team, you put him on Ottawa or somebody, he would be making mistakes. You watch. I'm not sold on him.
Well, you saw Anderson in Toronto. Not that great.
Anderson in Toronto?
Yeah, that's where he played before he was with Carolina.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, Anderson. Yeah, I keep forgetting Anderson's their starter. What happened to the other guy they had?
he's still
His name was Busey or something like that?
the rookie.
Yeah.
I don't trust him yet.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I got to keep up.
Anderson's their number one goalie, and he's the one that's won all these games, and he's the leading vote getter right now for the Conn Smythe, and Wedgwood is number 2 for voting right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not fully sold on him, but you know, goaltending's not. I mean, Bazzi did his thing. Bazzi got us in place, and the first line let him down, and I don't know. I don't know if I right now like. I don't know if I trust this team, whatever moves they make. I don't know if I trust them going into next season. Because right now, like I said, we're the Toronto Maple Leafs for the last 6 years.
By the way, Cal McCarr just got injured in the Colorado game. They are up 3-2 going. They were up 3-0 and now 3-2. He did come back. He did not take a shift, but he is doing a bit of skating between plays. But he did leave the game injury return, but has not taken a shift yet.
It's the NHL playoffs. Unless he's getting taken off in a stretcher, he'll probably be back.
That's not good. I mean,
well, no, don't say that. We have a captain he was not on a stretcher and sat in the locker room the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Hedman, and you know the big question is this. I mean. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Maybe you should take the LTIR, like that one guy said, the LTIR deal and all that stuff. But you think he's going to want to do that? You think he's going to be like, no, I'm going to play? You know, I mean, I don't know him. I don't know what's going on.
The
but
last 2 months, so
that's true. But I don't know. I just like right now, this team just downgraded themselves to. They're just a playoff team. They're just a first-round playoff team, and even though no matter what moves they're going to make, I think they're going to be going into the season as that.
Yeah,
and it's just a shame because, like I said, like a month ago, man, before the break, man, they looked like the best, especially after they beat Colorado in that one game. They were the best in the league. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you are right. These are all valid points. It's disappointing. This team's better than first-round exits, and here we are for the 4th straight year.
By the way, this came back to bite Hagel, and I'm now seeing the meme with your team did come up a little bit short.
They got to cut. You know what? That shit that Cooper did Doing that number one thing to the Montreal crowd. Don't do that shit, man. It
One more
ain't
game.
over.
One more game. he
Yeah,
said.
that. Don't do that stuff. It's not over. It's not over, man. You know, you do that when you beat them. Embarrassing, man. That's our coach.
Yeah. Came
You know,
back
you
to
talk
win.
shit when you talk shit when it's done. It wasn't over yet. God damn.
No, especially knowing that we suck at playing home playoff games.
Exactly.
Like, could we
You
stay
save that
in
till it's
Montreal?
done.
Could we just like switch it up? Hey,
Sure.
we'll let you guys play the last game at home.
I really don't understand the shit with the home game thing. That's another big ass mystery too.
I don't get
First
it.
time since 2019, no Florida team will be in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh boy, yep. Prince of Wales Trophy's going to another state.
The downfall of Florida hockey is amongst us. I don't think this team's done yet. I think a couple moves could put us over the edge. And
I don't know, man.
time's running out, though.
What's there to say? We lost against a young Montreal team who I wasn't. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad, and I respect the hell out of them, but I wasn't really impressed what I saw at them. I mean, like I said, this isn't the Florida Panthers we lost to. This is a Montreal team that did not look that great. And look at that, we're going home. Our veteran team that's been there before is going home. I'll let you guys go. I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Hey, man,
Thank you.
it's been a fun season. It's a sad ending. Only one team can win it, though. So we'll see you next
More
season.
like a pissed off ending, man. That was this shouldn't have happened. We should have won this fucking series.
I'm with you.
Excuse my language.
I had we'll let you
Yep.
go, man. Thanks for calling. Go Bolts. I had my fit after game 5.
Yeah. Nick Suzuki says Marty St. Louis gave them a fired up with some motivational speeches after 0 shots on goal in the second. But they didn't have many more in 3, so I don't know why you say that. And it was a lucky bounce.
Yeah, they had 5 shots in the third period. We ended up with 8 in the third period. 29-9 shots.
Yes, no more callers tonight. As a matter of fact, let's beat this dead horse on out of here. What more can you say? Except for season's over. We're going to, try to once a month?
Yeah, we will be back probably towards the end of the playoffs or shortly after the playoffs ends because they move quickly with the draft into free agency. So we'll be back. Obviously, if there's any breaking news or anything that comes up, make sure you follow us at We the Thunder Pod. And we're going to still watch the team, support the team, and hopefully next year about this time, we're playing into the second week of May, which would be the second round. Although I don't know because it's an 84-game regular season next season. But it will be interesting to see what happens this offseason. You can't lose 4 years in a row in round 1 with the amount of talent that's on this team. It's crazy.
Thank you, Token Dave. Yeah, Freeze the Bay shirts. It's been frozen. Yeah, time for Go Rays. Hey, in September there is a Rays hockey jersey night giveaway. I am getting group tickets to that, so follow Thunderbolts, and we'll be doing group night for that giveaway night.
Yep. All right. Anything else to tell the people?
No, I need to get a good night's rest. I head to Jacksonville tomorrow until Wednesday afternoon.
Are the Hitmen still in the playoffs?
I don't think they made it.
Oh, no. The downfall of Florida hockey's here. All right. Well, hey, I'll leave you guys with this. It was really an awesome series that we played. That game 6 was one of the best playoff games we're going to see all playoffs. The season was an awesome season with the way these guys played in January and February. The outdoor game that we had was an amazing experience, probably the best outdoor game, maybe the best Lightning regular season game that we'll ever see. And at the end of the day, it was a fun, awesome season, but that first round playoff loss gets us again. No toast from We the Thunder.
Same thing. Outdoor game. Between this one and the last outdoor game, I thought this was much better. The only thing I like better than on the last one is that we all get to do group things and stuff. I do want to do a group road trip next year, so look for that. I think we already decided Colorado is one of the places a lot of us want to go, and I definitely want to do Nashville again. And then the other thing is that the guests we've had on the show this year. We've been lucky on guest every single year, and this year it stepped up an amp. Not only with Sonia, we've had Eric Harrelson, Jay Retcher, Evan Klosky, Johnny Bell, but we got to interview Braden Coburn. We got to interview Mike Oliveira. We got to interview Phil Esposito. I mean, something we never thought we would be able to do. Someone could get Diet Coke to sponsor us. Trust me. Here's my last one. Here's the new one. I didn't know how long this show was going to go tonight. So it's been great. A lot of you guys come and support us every single year, whether we win or whether we lose. So thank you guys for everybody that comes out and supports us to the watch parties we did this year. That was a great success. To just when Shooter and I are walking around the stands and people yelling out to us and message us asking if we're going to be at the game and stuff like that. So thank you to all you guys that support us. It sounds like we just lost too.
We did.
We know this ain't what you want to hear, but and remember, SeatGeek, the code is still valid all year long, whether you're going to a concert, because there's going to be lots of them available at Benchmark now.
Next weekend.
Yeah, there's Dude Perfect coming August 1st. So use Strike 20, and that helps support us.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. That's it for the season. Congrats to the Montreal Canadiens for beating us and knocking us out of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hopefully our guys get some rest this summer, come back with whatever it takes to get past this whole first round thing. So until then, we will be back later this offseason. Until then, this has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it? Yo, welcome to the Ice Palace. Welcome to the Ice Palace. That Ice Palace. Ice Palace. Bill's house. Tampa, stand up. Yo, welcome to the Ice Palace, chilling where the storm's at. Phil dropped the blueprint. Boom. Now the Bulls flash. Bradley with the wrist shot. Pooper with the pad smash. Tampa got the Thunder better.